Dinner by Reddit user AlexHicks19. The wine was dry. It burned his throat as it slid down. Delicious. Vintage wine. Expensive, but one should spare no expense when eating a fine dinner. He set the glass of dry red down and dabbed his mouth with his napkin. It left traces of red, faintly resembling stains of blood on the white napkin. He looked around at his guests, all of whom were so caught up in the meal that no conversation was occurring. They were enjoying, and this pleased him. He loved to cook and treat his guests, and his passion showed in the tremendous and divine flavor that poured forth from each morsel of meat. He had finished his plate and was waiting for his guests to finish before offering them seconds, as well as retrieving another plate for himself. Finally, someone spoke up, breaking the deafening silence. "Henry, this food is incredible. You must give me your recipe," Marge said in between a mouthful of food. Henry sipped his wine, and a smile crept over his face at the compliment. "A good chef never reveals his recipes," he said with good cheer. "I thought the saying was a good magician never reveals their secrets," Dave asked. "Well, a good chef and a good magician are one and the same. They both produce magic," Henry said smugly. Everybody laughed. His charm seemed to fill the room. His aura demanded attention, and when he spoke, everybody listened. A magnetic personality like that, combined with feverishly good looks, was sure to guarantee an abundance of friends and followers. Dark brown hair and even darker brown eyes. Mysterious eyes, the kind that give absolutely nothing away, regardless of who looks into them. A good frame, muscle he had worked tirelessly to achieve. Always well-dressed and even better spoken, without a doubt, all traits one would classify as a perfect man. His wine had finished. He poured another glass and took a deep sip, cherishing the taste, swirling it around in his mouth. "Seconds, anyone?" he asked. Unanimously, everyone agreed they would like more. He gladly obliged. He cleaned the plates and headed for the kitchen. He could hear the chatter bubbling after he left. They were discussing how beautiful his house was. The pure white walls and marble floor, high ceilings coupled with chandeliers made it look like a house of a god. "More wine?" he shouted back from the kitchen. Marge shouted back that yes, more wine was indeed needed. He left the plates and headed down into the cellar, browsed the many bottles carefully for a moment, and selected yet another vintage wine. He blew the dust from the bottle and smiled to himself. Perfect wine for the perfect meal. He returned to the table carrying the bottle under his arm and a plate for each of his guests. They ate ravenously as though they had not eaten in days. It really was delicious, perfectly cooked, soft, tender and juicy, bursting with flavor and sliced with the precision of a samurai. That was the last of the meat, unfortunately. All that was left in the kitchen that contained flesh was her head. Legs, arms, torso had all been devoured. He wouldn't serve them her face anyway. It was beautiful. Once the guests had left, he would sever the head and add it to his collection and dispose of the bones that he and his guests had picked clean. The head would look so good amongst the other trophies retained from dinner nights.
We are Oni aeronauts. We are explorers of the dream world. We blur the line between waking life and sleep. And we're watching you. It's strange how many people forget that you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. People have forgotten the importance of dreaming. Less and less people even remember their dreams, and instead get up in the morning, shower, drink their coffee, and drive to work. They feel secure in their 2-bedroom condo overlooking the city, and they don't dream. Instead, they plan their next day. They browse through clothing and furniture catalogs. They watch their cable TV with 999 channels, and yet they don't dream. We do. Not only that, we know we're dreaming. When you realize you're dreaming, you realize you're free. You instantly lift yourself off the ground and fly through the dewy clouds. You become a Jedi and eat ice cream while receiving presence, you're free to do anything you please. Over the years, a select few of us have become profoundly gifted. We push the limits of the reality within. We would taste the color of nothingness, see 360 degrees around us, and most astonishingly, communicate with each other. That's right, we learn telepathy. We learn to enter each other's dreams and explore the world together. After that venture, the sky's the limit. Then, the most startling, most shocking discovery of all was made. We learned how to transcend the dream world. We learned how to communicate from our dreams to the waking world. In fact, this is my dream. You're reading the words I'm currently dreaming. How does that feel, to know that reality and dreams are no longer separated?
Should Have Opened My Eyes by Reddit user Pathetic Gay Mess. It's a school day. I'm asleep, fast asleep. My mom opens the door to my room. "Honey, it's time to wake up," she says sweetly. Calmly, I notice that her voice is slightly raspy today. My eyes are still closed. My dog Luna ran to my bed to lick my face as she does, and I hid under the pillow. My mom says she'll open my curtains to help me wake up. I say, "Sure, thanks, Mom." I hear her move around. The tiles creak, just like every morning. The brightness invades my room, strong, blinding, my face hidden under the pillow. I'm so tired. I've been tired for a long time, years maybe. It's hard to keep myself awake. My mom walks out. I can see Luna asleep on the floor next to my bed now, through the space between my pillow and the mattress. I sit up abruptly, violently, fighting exhaustion. I blink, my eyeballs hurting with the light. I get up. I walk out of the room, still sleepy. I search for my mom with my eyes. But she's not here. She's not anywhere. I walk around frenetically. Where is she? Did she go to take out the trash? At this time? It can't be. It can't be. The breakfast table's set. There's a boiling pot on the fire. The bubbles are moving the lid up and down. I turn it off. The oven is also on, but there's nothing inside of it. I turn it off too. Where is she? My eyes hurt from the brightness. I rub them roughly and blink. Where is she? I look around dizzy. Where is she? My phone chimes in my pocket. It startles me. I take it out to see a message from my mom from about 10 minutes ago. She says, "Did you wake up yet, honey?" "Yeah," I reply. "Where are you?" "What do you mean?" She sounds like she's laughing. "I'm at your grandma's." "Oh yeah," I think to myself. Mom is out of town to visit Grandma. Then I look around once again. My blood runs cold. The woman who was talking to me is back. I can see her. I can see her figure at the end of the hall.
When I was in the 4th grade, my family moved into a house in Cypress, California. On the outside it looked like any other on the block, but on the inside it was anything but normal. The layout of the upstairs had changed by the previous owner and went from a 4-bedroom to one large loft. But there was something else in that house that for the longest time only us kids encountered. On the first day as we moved in, we watched a spice rack that was at the back counter. It slid across the tile counter and over the lip at the end of it and crashed onto the floor. Our parents did not believe us when we told them. They just thought one of us had done it ourselves. But as the weeks went by, things continued. The clock in the kitchen would periodically jump off the wall and land on the refrigerator 3 feet away. Never once did it hit the ground. The TV and stereo would turn on by themselves, tuned to a station with nothing but static. 3 to 4 times a week we would hear scratching noises on the east side of the house, and there were no bushes or trees on that side. My little sister and I every so often would hear someone moving around in the upstairs closet when no one was up there. My parents, however, thought this was all just our imaginations until one night. My sister Tina and I, along with the two of my other sisters, were up in her part of the loft one night, watching TV. We started to hear music from the music boxes on the other side of the loft where my other two sisters' beds were. They decided to go see what was happening, and as they turned the corner of the stairs, that is when it happened. From outside Tina's window, a voice called out to her. In a scratchy whisper, it called her name over and over. By the time it called her name the third time, we were already heading down the stairs, followed by my other two sisters. They were running because they got to the music boxes, and then it stopped playing. We ran to our dad. After telling him what happened, he decided to go check it out. We followed him up the stairs to the window, all of us moving as one. But you could hear a pin drop with the silence that followed him opening the curtains. On the window was 2 smeared handprints on the outside, and hanging from the beam of the roof was a noose. My dad thought someone had tried to break in and called the police. After they arrived and checked the house and the surrounding property, they found nothing. They told my dad that no one could have gotten to that side of the house from the outside. Only from the inside was it possible. That is when they informed my dad of what occurred in the house years before. It seemed that the owners, prior to the one we got the house from, had a teenage daughter. One day when they had come home early, they discovered her body swinging from a noose from that very window, and on the outside of the window were 2 smeared handprints. That's all my dad needed to hear. We moved out that week, realizing that for some reason she was still there and didn't want any of the children in that house. From time to time I go by the house in Cyprus and always get the feeling something is watching me. But to this day, when I hear something outside the window, I hesitate to look, in fear something may be looking back.
If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons, and I'll see you all next time.